about to have a lot of fun. I see some of y'all are already at the microphone. We're gonna get to you guys super, super fast. Just one question per person so we can get through as many questions as possible, all right? Fabulous. All right, are you guys ready to get this panel underway? It is my absolute privilege to bring to the stage at this time the one and only Weird Al. I'm so good. How are you?
Good.
Amazing. Well, I wanted to start by saying you're getting ready to go back on the road for another tour.
That's true.
Bigger and weirder. And I know you're actually doing a show here in Columbus, right? Are you guys going to the show? I want to know, what is your favorite thing about going on tour?
The deli tray backstage, really nice. Sometimes they cut the cheese into isosceles triangles. That's my favorite part. Yeah.
Best. Do you have any pre-show rituals that you do before going on stage?
Yeah, you know, it's when I'm on tour, I live like a monk. Like I live on the bus. I try not to even talk until sound check because I've lost my voice on the road before, and that's really not a great thing because if you lose your voice, they say the only way to get it back is by not talking at all, like for a week. And when you're doing a show every night, that's really not an option. So I try really hard to not to lose my voice. So I don't talk unless I absolutely have to. And then right before the show, I do like a vocal warm up, like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So recently, there's a video of you and the wonderful Will Forte singing Chapel Road's Hot to Go.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite performances that I've seen has been with you, Alice Cooper, and Steven Tyler doing a version of Come Together.
Right.
I want to know, who is another dream collaborator you would love to perform with?
Oh gosh, you know, I love performing with people like anybody. Like, well, let's do Paul McCartney. Sure, let's do that. Why not?
I wanted to ask because obviously music can severely affect our mood. You know, we could be having a bad day, we could put on Albuquerque, and it can totally change our day around, right? I want to know, what's a song that you can listen to, whether it's one of your own or another artist, that can totally change your day around?
There's so many. Probably the one that really lifts my spirits is a song called Mama Get the Hammer, There's a Fly on the Baby's Head. That lifts my spirits.
Amazing. Very cool. What has been the strangest or the most unique thing that has inspired you to write a song?
Oh, I'm trying to think. You know, inspiration sometimes comes spontaneously, and sometimes like after me, like working really hard to try to think of like a variation on a theme. I think I just remember I was driving in the car when MacArthur Park came on the radio, and I thought, oh, I could do Jurassic Park, but that was like a movie that had just come out. So it's not often that like an idea will spontaneously come to me like that. A lot of times there's a lot more sweat involved. Yeah.
I know that you also have your degree in architecture as well.
Use it all the time, yeah.
I wanted to ask, because obviously you've been quite busy this weekend, so I don't know whether you've had the opportunity to walk around the convention center at all. There's a gigantic...
I came here.
Right, you made it here. Have you seen the gigantic head statue that's in the middle of the convention center?
I don't believe I have.
Oh, I wanted to know your take on it with your degree in
architecture. My take is I haven't seen it.
We'll have to get you there.
Okay.
Cool. So if it's okay with you, we already have a huge line of people wanting to ask
questions. Let's do it. Okay.
So let's go to y'all. What's your name? What's your question?
My name's Andre. I had the pleasure of talking with you yesterday in the signing line.
Yes, hi.
So, just to get the crowd, I don't think any of us will be completely happy until Weird Al is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
My wife just sent me a picture that somebody sent her. Apparently, there's a place at the Hall of Fame where people can vote, and apparently I'm number 3 on the list right now. So
I love the inspirations you take. As an amateur astrologer, one of my favorites from you is That's Your Horoscope. And I've always been wondering something about that song, and that is that Virgo gets a javelin, And I know that there was a film called The Groove Tube, and I was wondering whether or not that was an inspiration, an homage, or whether or not you'd even come in contact with it.
I remember enjoying the Groove Tube. This was like I was in high school when that came out, but I definitely remember that. I'm sure it inspired me in some way, but I don't remember it being a direct inspiration for that song.
The news anchors getting javelins through their throat when they say through their chest when they say they're Virgos.
Yeah. Oh, I've always been a fan of javelins through people's chests, so that's just something that I just, you know, that's just my humor. Yeah.
That is wonderful. Are the bridges on one breath?
I'm sorry?
Can you do the bridge on one breath?
The bridge
For Horoscope.
Yeah, I don't think I can do it off the top of my head right now.
No, but you're a fantastic vocalist beyond all of the writing and the entertainment.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you so much.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Eve. I just want to say it's an honor to be speaking with you at all. My earliest memories of the internet are me and my brother like looking up, going on YouTube and like finding weird like fan edits of your songs and things and like weird, you know, like the compilations of them with anyhow. Really shaped my sense of humor generally. My question today is, obviously Daniel Radcliffe plays you in the film incredibly, but is there anyone else that was like up for the role of you in the film, or someone that you like was like a dream of like, oh, I would love that person to play me?
You know, Daniel Radcliffe was my first choice. We did have a short list because we thought, like, no way, Daniel Radcliffe's going to want to be in this movie. And in deference to him, I haven't been talking about who's on that short list just because I don't think it's fair to the other actors or really to Daniel. But we had like a half a dozen or so people that we thought, oh, they'd be okay. But Daniel was always number one for us.
That's incredible. I mean, he was incredible, so I understand it.
Thank you.
completely. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Antonio Rodriguez.
Hey, Antonio.
It's an honor for you even just to say my name like that.
Antonio.
I wanted to ask, what's one memory that you want to, you know, throughout your career of music, of just like little skits that you've done that you just wish you could relive again? Because, you know, you woke up that morning, you're like, yeah, this is going to be the best one I ever did, right now. And then you just want to...
The best, sorry, the best?
A best moment.
Oh gosh, there's so many. I mean, you know, there's so many TV shows that I'm so thankful that I was allowed to be part of. The Simpsons, 30 Rock, Adventure Time, Gravity Falls. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And just little moments of my life. I remember, like, I got to play Carnegie Hall a couple of years ago, which was a thrill for me. And I just remember, like, after the first song, I just stopped and I said, you know, these kind of moments in life don't come by too often, so let me just take a moment and enjoy this. And the crowd like went nuts, and it was, I got kind of teared up because it was a really emotional thing to like to be performing Carnegie Hall. So those kind of things, I'm happy to say, happen a lot in my life. I feel very blessed to be able to do what I do for a living.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Oliver, and this is my brother Noah. So my question you wrote a song called Trapped in the Drive-Thru. And it's a 10-minute song of you talking to yourself, or singing to yourself more likely. What was your thought process when you're just singing the song to yourself for 10 minutes straight?
Well, when I was writing it, I mean, the song isn't entirely based on a real life experience, but it's sort of partly based. I mean, I think I was thinking of the In-N-Out drive-through on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. And my wife and I would go there to pick up our grilled cheese sandwiches or whatever. And so I was trying to come up with something that would be funny. Well, the problem was the original version was so ridiculous and convoluted and weird. I was like, I can't make it weirder than the original version. There's just no way. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of turn it on its head and make it the most banal, you know, stupid, you know, uninteresting 10-minute long song ever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Al. My name is Liz.
Hey.
My father basically raised me on your music, so thank you for that. My question is, of all of television history, has there ever been a theme song you wish you could parody?
What type of bird? Oh, probably so. I mean, I did you know, I performed at the Primetime Emmys 10 years ago. when Seth Meyers was hosting, and this wasn't my idea to do it. They asked me to do it, and I came out. It was actually pretty terrifying because I'd never even been to the Grammys at that, the Emmys at that point. They wanted me to actually do a full production number, and they had me doing parodies of all the big TV shows at the time that didn't already have TV show themes like Mad Men and Modern Family and Game of Thrones and things like that. In fact, there was a whole bit where I talked about a Game of Thrones, and Andy Samberg ran out into the audience and gave a typewriter to George R.R. Martin so he could finish writing the new book. So yeah, but that happens every now and then, yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kurt. I wanted to know if there was ever a moment in your career when you were like approached a musician, either for one of your parodies or maybe you're like at a movie premiere or anything like that, where they like recognized you first and you're like starstruck.
Well, my favorite story, and this is, not a secret, this has been gotten all around the internet, but the first time I met Paul McCartney was sort of kind of like that, because Edith had just come out, this is 1984, and I got invited to the premiere of Give My Regards to Broad Street, which was a movie Paul McCartney had just put out. And I was there hanging out at Bistro Gardens in Beverly Hills, and I think I was talking to Michael Keaton, and he was a celebrity, but he wasn't Batman, or he was just like Mr. Mom at that point. And we were just kind of hanging out, and we were just kind of geeking out, like, oh, Paul McCartney's over there, Paul McCartney's over there. And I walked up to one of Paul McCartney's handlers or his PR people and said, could I meet Paul McCartney? And he said, no, he's very busy. And I finally thought, this is my one chance to meet a Beatle. I really need to meet Paul McCartney. So I'm hanging around kind of where Paul is. In fact, there's some MTV footage of Martha Quinn interviewing Paul McCartney. You see me in the background. My hair poking out. And finally, when nobody was watching, I kind of sidled up next to Paul and said, Mr. McCartney, hi, my name is Al Yankovic. He goes, oh, honey, Linda, look, it's Weird Al. It's Weird Al over here. My brain exploded. He talked to me for like a minute, just like a normal person, but the whole time I'm thinking, I'm talking to Paul McCartney!
Thank you so much.
Is that an accordion for you?
Nice.
Very cool. Hey, what's your name?
I go by Fusion. My question is you've done so many animated voices over the years, many of them which I love, especially Milo Murphy's Law.
Thank you.
What show in the future would you love to voice act on?
Oh, there's so many. I met the guys that did Rick and Morty a couple days ago. They came up and said hi, and I said, I'd love to be in Rick and Morty. That would be such a fun show to do. So, I love doing voice acting. So there are very few shows I wouldn't want to be on. but yeah, that would be one of them. I would. My dream would be to be in any Pixar movie. That would be like my big white whale. I would love to do that.
Thank you.
Hi there, my name's Ron, and my question is, I read on the internet, I know you can't believe everything you read on the internet, but
It's all true.
that would make me sad, because what I read was
Uh-oh.
that Mandatory Fun was going to be, you were never going to do another album after Mandatory Fun, and I'm old enough, I like vinyl, and I like to have the album. I know you still got it in you. Can you make us another album and put it out?
Well, I'm not really putting out albums. I'm not retired from recording or writing new music. I mean, I've put out a number of singles in the last 10 years. I haven't been super prolific, I will admit that. I put out, there was a whole soundtrack album to Weird Al Yankovic Story, and there was a new single on that, and I re-recorded a bunch of my old stuff. So I don't think I am ever going to do like another traditional album, sadly to say, but I'm still putting out stuff here and there, so you can burn it all on one CD and you can call it a new album at some point.
Add Huntington, West Virginia. It's a thriving metropolis to your tour. We'd love to have you.
Oh, nice. Okay. Jump up.
What's your name?
I am Alphonse.
Alphonse, hi.
Hi.
What's your question, Alphonse?
Have you ever heard or watched Murder Drones?
Murder Drone. I can't say that I have. I'm sorry. Should I?
Yeah.
Okay, well. Thanks for the recommendation.
Hi, what's your name? My name's Powder. So my question for you is, how did you get like the role for Cheese Sandwich on My Little Pony?
I'm not sure exactly how that happened. I know that Bill Anderson, who did the music for at least the first several seasons of My Little Pony, is an old friend of mine. In fact, he toured with me on my 1985 tour as a guitar and horn player. So I had that relationship, and he was telling me, oh yeah, the fans would love to have you on the show. I'd love to be on the show. And I know that there were all sorts of fans that were making, what do they call them? They would make their own music videos of my songs based on clips from My Little Pony. And then it became a thing for a while. And I guess they just, I made it clear that, yeah, of course I would love to be on the show. And finally somebody asked. And Jason Thiessen produced the first episode I was on. And it was a blast. I really loved doing it. And then they had me back a couple seasons later. And for anybody that's upset, I had nothing to do with marrying Pinkie Pie. That was not my idea. I found out about that when everybody else did. So if you're upset with that, it wasn't me.
Hey,
Hey.
what's your name?
My name's Kimmy.
Hey Kimmy, good to see you again.
You too. And I just first of all wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for all you did for me. You helped me battle through depression and some thoughts I shouldn't have been having. And just because of my autism and the way I look, I've been bullied. And I just wanted to first of all say thank you for what your music has done for me. I have a couple of quick questions.
Sure.
What was your biggest inspiration on writing music? How did you come about it? Like, what was your process?
Mostly I've been writing music all this time so that I could get a voice acting role on Murder Drone. I've heard it's an amazing show, and I want to make sure that someday I'm going to be on that show.
And two, what did it feel like holding your first Grammy?
That was pretty amazing. That doesn't get old, by the way. I've won several Grammys, and every time it's a huge thrill. It's not like, oh, another Grammy. It's really great. And the first time you win a Grammy, I guess, is extra special because, then you can legally change your name to the Grammy Award-winning Yankovic.
And three, was your song the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota based on a real life event?
Real life event? Well, there is in fact a ball of twine in Minnesota, which is the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. It's located in Darwin, Minnesota. Pretty much all the facts on the song are actually right. I think I was inspired by a copy of Roadside America, which is all these bizarre, touristy roadside attractions, and it struck me. It's not the biggest ball of twine in the world or even the country, but it's a big ball of twine, and I think the claim to fame is it's the biggest ball of twine made by one man, Francis A. Johnson, because all these other big twine balls are like big community projects, and I discount those. I like the one insane guy making the ball of twine. That's what speaks to me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good catch. Hey, what's your name?
My name is Cameron. This is my daughter Rosie.
Hello.
Her question is, first, her favorite song is "The Saga Begins."
Thank you.
She wanted to know what your favorite song that you ever wrote was, or which song of yours you had the most fun writing.
Well, I think my favorite song is "The Saga Begins," and I had the most fun writing "The Saga Begins."
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Hello, big fan.
Thank you.
My name is Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
What is your opinion on the music video of Close But No Cigar?
Good. You know, it's whenever I hire an animator to do my animated videos, I usually give them free reign. I hire them because I admire their talent and I don't want to micromanage. Give them too many notes. That music video was directed by John Chris Falusi, who is now pretty much canceled. But at the time, I mean, I was a big fan of his, and he created Ren and Stimpy, and I was a big fan of that show, and I was thrilled that he wanted to do it, and I kind of let him do what he did. There were a few things I think I told him, no, you can't do that. So he toned it down a little bit, but it's still a little bit more risque than would be my personal preference. So yeah, I mean, it's not exactly the video that I would have done for it or would have wanted, but I respect animators and I tend to give them a hands-off approach.
What's your name?
I'm Nate.
Hello.
My question was, out of all the polka medleys you've done, which one is your favorite?
You know, I don't really have favorites per se. I mean, it's hard to pick. I like the polka medleys because they're time capsules. They're a good overview of what happened to be popular during a certain period of time. I don't, my stock answer is always whatever the most recent one is, so that would be Polka Mania. But I don't really have what is yours? See, it's not easy, is it?
I'll just say Angry White Boy Polka.
Well, that's a good one. Okay, I'll go with that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You want to tilt the mic back up too. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Eloise. I just wanted to say that you inspired me to pick up the accordion, and I was wondering if you had any advice because the accordion is hard. It is hard.
Do you have anybody that you know that plays the accordion already? Are there any accordion teachers? No. I grew up learning through a series of books called the Palmer Hughes series. I don't know if they're still in print, probably not. You might be able to find them on eBay. But that was, you can go through those and kind of teach yourself accordion through that. There's probably some kind of instructional videos even online, but I started with Palmer Hughes. The accordion is kind of a hard instrument to learn, and I started when I was like 6, 7 years old, so it's easy to learn anything, and the synapses in your brain are firing differently than they do when you're an adult. But I learned how difficult it was because I had to give Daniel Radcliffe accordion lessons. And he's a great student and he was very motivated, but it's tough because you're like playing a piano keyboard with your right hand, you're playing buttons with your left hand, you have to move the bellows back and there's a lot of things to, a lot of this kind of stuff going on. So it's a tough instrument and I commend you for even attempting it.
John.
Hey, John.
And, I appreciate all of your original songs, especially this time of year, the night Santa went crazy.
Thank you.
I was wondering, are any of your originals more autobiographical that we can learn about the real Al?
Everything in Albuquerque is absolutely true. No, I don't. Gosh, I tend not to write really from personal experience too much because that's really boring. I don't know that. The closest autobiographical song I've ever written was probably White and Nerdy. I don't know.
Hey.
Hi, so my name is Ivy, and my question is, what was your favorite album cover to tape?
My favorite album? Album cover. I think I'm going to say, favorite album's a tougher question, but favorite album cover, I'm going to go with Alpocalypse. I really like the way that turned out. Robin Van Swank took that picture and set that all up. And it's a really beautiful package. The record label, to their credit, really went out, they did the gold inlay on my name, and they did the embossed album title on the cover, and I thought it looked like a really, heavy, hardcore, heavy metal album cover, and I thought that was really cool. What's your favorite album cover?
I don't know, honest. It's hard.
Yeah, it is.
All of them.
Thank you, though.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
How's it going? My name's Matt. I'm Eric.
Hello.
We just wanted to say, you got weasels on your face.
Oh, yes. I've heard that before. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, what's your name?
I'm Austin.
Hey, Austin.
So first off, my girlfriend would like to say you're one of the best because your songs actually rhyme.
I try.
And my question is, how do you decide which songs to include in your polka medleys?
That's a good question. I obviously pick songs that I think are really popular, that are at the top of the Billboard charts, and more importantly, songs that I think actually sound a little bit better done polka style. That's a big thing. On Polka Mania, I limited myself to songs that had actually made #1 on the charts because I was going through literally a whole decade of pop music, and I figured that was a good way to narrow it down. But yes, if a song has a really identifiable musical or lyrical hook, something that jumps out at you, and something that I think sounds kind of nice with a polka beat to it, then it makes the list. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, what's your name?
I'm Vanessa. So I blame my brother for having introduced you to your music to me. But when I was younger, he never believed me that I knew the words to Amish Paradise. I'm a very shy singer, but I was wondering if you would karaoke with me the first refrain real quick, just to prove to him that I do in fact know the songs. If not, that's okay.
As I walk through
the valley where I harvest my grain, I take a look at my wife and realize she's very plain. And I'm nervous, sorry. Thank you.
My name is Benjamin. First of all, huge fan. I've been a fan since I was 4. So I've heard that your least favorite number ever is 14. Why do you hate that number so much?
It's just a stupid number. I hate it. Don't you?
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad.
A stupid number.
I'm 14 years old, so.
You'll grow out of it.
What's your favorite number?
27, obviously.
27.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Harry. I'm a big fan of the obnoxiously long songs.
Oh, good.
Me and my boyfriend tend to torment all of his friends by making them sit through Albuquerque and Trapped in the Drive-Thru.
Good
I
job.
was wondering which of the really long songs are your favorite?
Yeah, again, I like them all. I think I actually have a preference for Jackson Park Express on the last album. That was something I enjoyed doing in the Strings Attached tour in 2019. But I like them all. I like them. I like anything that long and annoying. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey.
My name is Sarah. I just want to know, how was your experience for voice acting for Chief Sandwich? Like, how was it? Did you
It was great. It was really fun. I got to work with a lot of times the voice acting cast actually goes to, I think they do it in Vancouver, I believe, but they let me do it in LA. And they had Jason Thiessen, who directed it, and several other people from the show were there. It was just, like a normal voice acting session. Everybody was, having a great time and laughing, and went through the lines several times as you do, and went through the songs several times as you do, and they edited it all later. But they seemed very happy, and yeah, it was great. I loved doing it. Very happy to be part of the My Little Pony universe.
What's your name?
I'm David. It is surreal to actually sing you after growing up with it's like so many voices and listening to your music when I was younger. Like Word Crimes, the song begins, Fat and Eat It. But I was wondering, even though it's you don't sing it live because of how difficult it is, would you ever consider doing a lounge version of Hardware Store?
You know, I actually consider that for one tour, and you know, I won't rule it out entirely because I know people would want to hear like the studio version. But yeah, I mean, if we were to do it, we'd have to kind of like slow it down and make it jazzy or something, which, you know, it's a thought. Somehow I don't think that would be quite as satisfying, but I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you.
I'm Keaton, and I met you earlier.
Yes.
And I'll meet you later for the photo opportunity. But I'd like to know, have you ever made a song that you regret or disliked?
You know, there's some songs I like less than others. I will say, and I hate to say anything, because whatever I say I don't like, people say, that's my favorite song! But on my third album, my record label kind of forced my hand. I thought Like a Surgeon was going to be the single, and my record label, who up until this point had been pretty hands-off and just going to let me do what I did, they said, we're not going to put out this album unless you have a Cyndi Lauper parody. I said, okay, well, I love Cyndi Lauper, and I think Girls Just Want to Have Fun is a great single and all that, but we have Madonna here. Madonna's kind of a big deal. And they said, yeah, well, you had to have a Cyndi Lauper parody. I said, all right. So I did Girls Just Want to Have Lunch, which was sort of like obvious and not that funny, and you can probably hear from my vocal stylings in that song. I was kind of doing it under duress, like, some girls just... I was like, I can't believe they're making me do this song. So, and not that that's my least favorite song, but it was something that I'm probably, it probably wouldn't ever wind up on like a greatest hits album.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Hi, my name is Kieran. Apologies in advance if I stutter at all. And before I get to my question, I just want to mention that, so earlier I got an autograph from you, and I did this whole joke where I had you sign like this printout of the Chapel Roan. I actually bought that from an artist at this convention. So
nice.
After I got the signature, I showed it to the artist. She goes by the alias Beeftopia, and she was really ecstatic. So I just really wanted to thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, so getting to my question, just a simple one. What was the most difficult song to make a parody out of, just in terms of the premise, lyrics, or music video?
In general, rap songs are a little harder just because there's so many words to deal with. Yeah, I don't know. I think Couch Potato, which is my parody of Lose Yourself by Eminem, that was a tough one to do because there were a lot of words and there were a lot of internal rhymes. And it was, you know, once you break it down, it's actually a very complex song and a complex structure. So that was a kind of a tough thing to make it work and make it flow like the original did and still have it make sense and be funny. So that was a nice puzzle for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Portia, but I'm actually asking the question for my friends Alex and Carter, and they're curious if there's ever been a hard enough time in your life to where you wanted or thought of giving up your path in music.
Well, probably before I got a record deal. I mean, I didn't, you know, I've always, you know, this has always been a dream of mine. I never, you know, thought I'd be in show business or be a Weird Al for a living. I did get my degree in architecture, and I spent a couple years kind of working at minimum wage jobs and trying to get something going on. But, you know, in the back of my head, I was thinking, like, there's no way this is going to work out. Like, this is too ridiculous. I can't believe that, like, this would ever pan out. But I just kept at it, and I got lucky pretty early on. And ever since then, I've never really looked back. I mean, I love what I do for a living, so I don't really get easily discouraged. And, you know, I can't imagine ever retiring or giving up. I mean, this has always been fun for me, and I can't imagine a day when it wouldn't be fun for me.
Thank you so much.
All right, we have about 10 minutes left. Hey, what's your name?
My name is Frank. Back in your past, you would eat like really disgusting like food, like as a comedy bit. What is the weirdest thing that you've ate that you actually ended up liking?
Well, the only thing that comes to mind would probably be the Twinkie Winger sandwich, I guess. And for those of you who haven't tried, I'm guessing most of you know what it is. It's featured in the movie UHF. It's a Twinkie split lengthwise with a hot dog inserted and spray cheese on top. And if you want, you can dunk it in milk. That makes it, you know. So I had to eat, I think, 7 of those during the course of the filming of the movie. And I will say, it's not as bad as you think, but having said that, not that great.
Have you ever checked out, what's his name? Binging with Babish?
Binging? I have not. I'll check that out.
Yeah, I think he does your Twinkie thing. He bakes the Twinkie and Twinkie dog.
Oh, I may have seen this. They do like a gourmet version of it.
Yes.
I think I saw that actually episode. Yes. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Saj. My question for you is, what's the process like to parody a song?
Generally, I will, come up with an idea, and I won't start writing lyrics until I get permission from the artist, because I put a lot of work and effort into songs, and I don't want to spend weeks working on something and find out the artist doesn't have a sense of humor. So basically, I'll come up with an idea, like a high concept idea, and then I'll tell my manager and say, go get it. And then he pitches their representatives. And it's basically like, Al's got an idea for this song, and here's the general idea. To kind of take their temperature. And if they say yes, then I'll write it. And, there's no surprises. It's not like it's, they let me do that and then I make it like some kind of like attack piece, or I make them look bad or whatever. It's exactly what I told them I'm going to do. So I've never had anybody after the fact come back and say, we've changed our mind, and no, you can't do that now. So generally, if you get like the initial go ahead, that's enough reason to put the work in.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
you.
For all the hard work.
Thanks.
Hey. What's your name?
My name's Hannah.
Hello.
What's your favorite cartoon when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, oh wow. Gosh, I'm gonna think back. I loved all the Warner Brothers cartoons, like on Saturday morning, so like the Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and all that kind of stuff, which I guess most of those were actually made in the 40s and 50s. But they would run, the TV show was in the 60s, so I got to see it then. But yeah, I like that. I mean, that was there's some pretty surrealistic humor actually in some of those, so that really spoke to me more than some of the other network TV animated shows that were on at the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey. What's your name?
Jazzy, Bartholomew.
Hello.
Might I ask you...
Hey, look close to the mic if you could.
Right. Can I pitch you a parody?
I'm not really supposed to hear other people's parodies.
Very well.
But I encourage you to write your own and record your own and become a YouTube star.
That's fair. Then can I ask you a different question?
Sure.
What was the Green Day rejection like for Canadian Idiot?
What was the reception?
Agreed rejection. I was told you didn't make that because...
No, they approved it.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. If it shows up on an album, it's...
I didn't really...
They're cool with it, apparently.
Hi, my name is Mickey. I was wondering what it was like working with the Linda Lindas and how that happened.
Oh, yeah, the Linda Lindas sort of approached me out of the blue. I guess they needed an accordion player for their song Yo Mi Estresso. And this was, I think it's a couple of years ago. It felt like a long time ago. I was wondering, is this album ever coming out? But they had me come in, they gave me the demo tape. I learned the song, I came in, played it on the accordion, they were happy with it. And then just recently, I guess earlier this year, the album came out and they said, you want to be in the video? And I was like, yeah, why not? So I went and shot my little bit and it was great. I think I really liked the band. I was very happy to be part of that and they're doing great. And they had recently opened for Green Day to tie back to the other question.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Melody.
Hello.
Who's your favorite Muppet?
Oh, Beaker.
Hi, I like to go by Spiffy, and I'm asking a question for my friend Maddie here. She was wondering if you've ever put your architectural skills to use in Minecraft.
I'd be happy to. I mean, if they ever want me in Minecraft, I'd be very excited to be part of that, sure.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Hannah. A quick funny story. I went on a date the other day and we were talking about what our first concert is, and it turned out we were at the same Weird Al concert like 15 years ago, and it was both our first concert, so we'll see how that goes.
Very romantic, yes.
My question is, do you think that it's more socially acceptable to be weird nowadays? And would you change anything about your career if it were starting in this day and age?
I hope it's more socially acceptable. I mean, that's part of the reason why I dubbed myself Weird Al, is because it was something that people, used to say to insult me, and I thought I'd take it on as a badge of honor. And it's a way to, to encourage anybody that's a little odd or different or freakish or weird or feels like an outcast. I hope that, me being Weird Al makes them feel a little less alone in the world, that there's other weird people out there. And in terms of the second part of your question, was anything I do different? Oh, if it was today. Well, it's a whole different world today. I mean, when I was starting out, I was lucky enough to get a record deal. And I was lucky enough to be one of the first comedy people ever on MTV, and I got a lot of lucky breaks and having me in the right place at the right time. And if I was just starting out now, I would probably do, the same thing I advise other people that are trying to break into show business, is like have a strong online presence, get your stuff on YouTube, just put yourself out in the world. And it's so much easier today than it was 30, 40 years ago to just, be seen. And if you're good, people will notice.
Thank you.
All right, we have time for 2 more questions. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Evelyn, and my question is, what was your favorite part to sing in Polka Mania?
Oh, gosh, they were all fun. I don't know, I mean, what would be... Oh, probably WAP, I guess.
All right, our final question, and then we're going to take a big group picture with everybody. What's your name?
My name is Anonymous. I hate my parents. My question is, have you ever thought about writing a stage musical?
There's talk about that. I'm not allowed to say anything more. Don't hold your breath, because things on Broadway, we could be talking 10 years from now. So, but there's talk.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you want to sneak in one more quick question?
Sure.
Okay, final one. Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Jack.
Hey, Jack.
What is your favorite Pokemon?
Oh, Dweezil.
All right.
All right, what a button. Nice.
On that note, if it's okay with you, we're going to take a big group picture with
Let's do that.
everybody here.
Let's do
So
that.
if you guys want to come to
Everybody
the
get
stage.
together.
Yes. Come to the stage, not on the stage, and we're going to come as close to the middle as we possibly can.
Oh, no.
Congrats, amazing friends. All right, how are you looking? I'm hearing an accordion. All right, we almost ready? All right, we're ready to go. Guys, I need you super excited for this picture. Here we go. 1, 2. One more for good measure. Okay, one more. Here we go. One more time for the one called Weird.